Hello viewers, this is your almost daily dosage of Ted Lasso reference series. Today we will bring you a rather simple yet old-timey reference in episode 3 of season 3 when Ted led a conversation about everyone's favorite Julie Andrews role.
Sorry, Roy, I know you don't like all this musical theater talk this early in the morning.
No, I'll allow it. I used to fancy Julie Andrews. Well, I still do, to be fair. The voice, the eyes, the way you know she'd tell you off if you'd been bad.
All right, we gotta do it. All-time favorite Julie Andrews character, go.
Maria.
Resolute as always, Coach, what do you got?
Eliza Doolittle.
Ooh, audio-only performance. I love that. Professor Higgins.
Come on, you Poppins.
Same, I'm right there with you. Trent, do you have one? You don't have to. You got one?
Clarice Rinaldi, Queen of Genovia.
Princess Diary.
Let's watch it closely this time.
All right, we gotta do it. All-time favorite Julie Andrews character, go.
Maria.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Everybody knows that The Sound of Music was based on the Broadway musical. When it came time to do the movie, I think most of us felt that the piece could be quite saccharine if we were not careful. I know our director, Robert Wise, felt that way. I know that wonderful Christopher Plummer felt that way, and I certainly did also. So there were some conversations before we began filming how best to get rid of the really sugary parts of the film. It's mostly because with that beautiful scenery and 7 children and that glorious music, if you weren't careful, it could be very, very sugary. It was really thanks to Chris Plummer who gave the film its glue. He was the firm, stern father of the children and the antagonist that I had to work with. Chris was such a wonderful actor. We became great friends, and really until he passed away fairly recently, we saw each other a lot, we knew each other. He stayed a friend, and it was very pleasant.
You sing, you begin with do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Do, re, mi.
Resolute as always, Coach, what do you got?
Eliza Doolittle.
Ooh, audio-only performance.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Now, wouldn't it be lovely?
I had a lot of challenges in terms of creating Eliza. First of all, I really didn't have a Cockney accent. I didn't know how to find it, and I'd never really done a play before. I'd done my act in variety and vaudeville and music hall, but never a really long, wonderful play. And so I was completely out of my depth. And then it was just a question, really, of putting my head down and learning day after day after day my craft. It really was the greatest learning experience on stage that I could ever have had. I was in the show for about 3.5 years, and that's a very long time to play 8 performances a week. It does teach somebody how to, I mean, if your leading man has a cold, if the audience is coughing and sneezing, if it's raining outside, any number of things could happen. And you really learn how to reserve your voice, how to deliver lines, how to play comedy. I mean, it was a tremendous experience for me.
Someone's head resting on my knee, warm and tender as he can be.
I love that. Professor Higgins.
Come on, you Poppins.
Same, I'm right there with you.
Very well. Hold this for me. As I expected, Mary Poppins practically perfect in every way.
When I was fortunate enough to be asked to make the film of Mary Poppins, again, it was a brand new thing in my life that I'd never done before. It was for Walt Disney, of course, and the songs in Mary Poppins had a kind of vaudeville quality to them, and I think it's what attracted me to the role, because all that kind of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and jolly holiday music was very much like the kind of things that you hear in English vaudeville.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I felt a little bit more at home with the music. I always did, because basically, all my life I've been a singer, really. And so, with the kindness of people like the Disney team, little by little by little, I learned the craft of making a film. The wonder of that all was that Mr. Disney not only asked me to do the film, but he asked my then husband, Tony Walton, to design Cherry Tree Lane and all the interiors of all the homes in the movie, plus the costumes for everybody. Tony was hugely talented, and creating my costumes, he would discuss them with me, and he said, you know, you're very prim and proper on the outside, but I think Mary Poppins has a kind of secret life maybe, and I'm going to give her, when you open your coat or when you turn and dance, you'll see marvelously colored petticoats and wonderful linings of your clothes. And he said, because I think that's what gives her pleasure. Very formal on the outside and a little bit wicked on the inside, so to speak. And it completely gave me a clue as to her character. Big, big help for me.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
Trent, do you have one? You don't have to. You got one?
Clarice Rinaldi, Queen of Genovia.
Princess Diaries.
Deep cut.
Amelia, I'm so glad you could come.
Hi, you've got a great place.
Thank you. Well, let me look at you. You look so young.
Later in my career, I made 2 films, Princess Diaries 1 and Princess Diaries 2. And this lovely, young, talented actress starred in both of them, Anne Hathaway. It was clear from the very first day of shooting that she was going to be a star. She was incredibly talented. Her instincts were so true. She was very, very beautiful and just a lovely human being. And it was great fun to watch her growing and learning. And I kind of think that I probably was a bit of a mum to her too, and we're great friends.
I have an announcement to make. My granddaughter... She's here.
Take care, and until next time,